All right, all right, all right, all right. Greetings and welcome back once again. This is Amuna. Oh, let me get my life right early. You forget my background music at a day, not the day. Okay, bomb background mode in full effect. Greetings and welcome back once again. I pray everybody is doing well. I pray everybody is doing well. This is Amuna. We're about to get into this conversation. Um, I think we got a baby Kevin Samuels in the spot. We have someone who has popped up on what is this TikTok, and he put the glasses on. He got his hand on the chin. I don't know. But I came across this video that's going somewhat viral, and the title of the video is the title that I named this one. Why doesn't she cook for the men anymore? So we definitely want to hear. Now, Asha, what's going on? Long time no see. We definitely want to hear what is being said in this video. Then we will talk about it. Okay. I'll try to reserve my commentary. So let me go ahead and click on this. Wait, pause. Hopefully it's not slowing up. I'm going in and out. I cannot. It shouldn't be going in and out. Let me know how it's doing now. The internet is on 100. I'm not far from the modem. I don't know what's really going on. Let me know if the volume is clear and everything is good before I get started. The sound is up. It should be good. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna share my screen, and then we're gonna watch this video real quick. I'm better now. I bet. All right, here we go. This is from I'm about to call him Baby Samuels in a minute, yo. Kevin Samuels' baby cousin or something. But let's go in. You can clearly see he's getting into character, into role. The topic is why women don't want to cook or clean for men anymore. And he's having a live show going on over on TikTok. So let's hear what this brother has to say.
Want to cook and clean for the men anymore.
Because they're tired, bro. They have to go to work every day.
They're tired?
Yeah, they got to go to work every day, just like you.
What are they tired of?
Of working. It's not hard. I mean, I shouldn't even be like, I don't even understand the question. Like, they're tired. Aren't you tired when you get home from work?
They're working every day, so they're tired. That's why I don't want to cook or clean.
Yeah. You think I want to work 8 hours and then come home and then cook and clean? I mean, I do it because I have to. I have 5 children. But yeah, I mean.
Do you have a woman right now?
What's that?
Do you have a woman right now?
I've been married for over 20 years.
Okay. Does your wife work?
Yeah, absolutely.
What are the roles in a marriage?
But pause. I'm just going to let this one run straight through. There's so much I have to say on this. Shout out to India. India says, I'm so glad you're doing this, man. Yeah, we're going to get into all of that, but I like to hear the people out. We're going to let this one run, and it's 2 minutes. So we're going to let it run, and then we're going to pull it back from the top.
What are you talking about? Roles. Everybody does what they have to do.
Well, okay. What do you do? What does she do?
For a living?
No, in the house for the marriage. What do you guys do? What are your roles?
Role? I don't understand the question. She does what needs to be done that day if she has time to do it, and if she doesn't, I do it. I do what needs to be done that day, and if I don't have time to do it, she does it. But roles, I don't know.
How do you not know what roles are in a marriage? You're married for 20 years. You guys don't have any roles?
Exist. Because those don't exist. Like, I'm not white. I'm not a white Christian man. I don't.
What are you talking about? I'm not white. What does that have to do with anything?
Oh, because you're trying to live up to like some white supremacist ideal of the
what are you talking
family.
about?
I don't subscribe.
Nobody said nothing about no supremacy.
Teamwork makes the dream work, friend. We a team. Ain't no roles.
What do you mean there ain't no roles?
It's not that hard to understand. You said, why do women not want to cook and clean? They're tired. They have to go to work.
Okay.
I answered that question.
Okay.
You said, what are your roles? I said, we're a team.
If there's something that needs to be built in the house, who builds it? You or your wife?
Depends on what it is.
What do you mean depends on what it is?
Like if it's a toy for the kids, you know what I'm saying? My wife's better at putting stickers on, so she builds it. But if we're talking about
that's not building nothing, man.
But I mean, I'm sorry you feel
Putting
that way. It's still
stickers
a
on
task.
something, you've lost it.
It's still a task. But my wife's an interior designer, so she can build anything.
I ain't got time for no foolishness. He gone.
Okay, now, yo, holding that in was like holding your breath. My merciful Father, look at baby Samuel's out here trying to get people riled up, and he's actually doing it. And this is one of the problems. But I'm not gonna get into the problems right now with the people. Let's get into the problems with this interaction: theory versus practice. A large majority of the people running their pie holes on the internet on certain topics are theorizing. Theorizing. You have a small segment of those people who are actually practicing. And if you're practicing, you really don't have a lot of time, right, to do what a lot of these people are doing. So we have a conversation. Context is very important. They say content is king, but context is right up there, okay? You have somebody with 20 years of experience, 5 children. Yet the person who I'm new to this person, but someone in the audience is saying no wonder he's single. So if he's not single, feel free to let me know. But if we go under the assumption that the person, baby Samuel's over here, is single, then he is talking about theory. Okay. And this man down here in the bottom is talking about practice. Now let's go to the person who actually knows how this thing goes and having the experience of how it goes should be in the bigger picture, right? But this is the land of the internet, so that's not what's going on. So let's India said I thought I was the only one who said Pilo. Yeah, that's old school. So let's go from the top. Why women don't want to cook or clean for men anymore. And then we're going to go fishing around a little bit on his channel just to see. I bet money that he's getting response in this area. Bet TikTok money that he is going to start doing more and more videos in this vein, right? He kept hitting around till he found something that works. But let's listen now.
Clean for the men anymore.
Because they're tired, bro. They have to go to work every day.
So he asked the question, he got an answer.
That's not hard.
It's not hard. They're tired, right? But the man wants to play like Jeopardy. He wants to play like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, trying to call a phone a friend on some old, what do you mean? Like that was clear cut and concise. Why don't they do it? Because they're tired. But that wasn't good enough for him. So let's continue.
They're tired?
Yeah, they got to go to work every day, just like you.
What are they tired of?
Here comes the gaslighting. He already says they got to go to work every day. So the video technically could be over. How many minutes is this? In 15 seconds, the video would have been done. But no, for YouTube, for TikTok, for all of these places, you gotta make drama where there is no drama. If he was being honest and in this conversation, in this space, and he's talking to another man. He's not even talking to a woman. And he's hearing from another man, in his estimation, why they do it? Because they're tired. But again, he didn't want to accept that because he wanted a video, right? So let's continue.
Of working. It's not hard. I mean, I shouldn't even be like, I don't even understand the question.
I'm with you, bro. Like, I'm not saying don't cook. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you asked a crazy question, then you got a straightforward answer. And his face, like he's channeling his inner Samuels right now. Look at his face. Let's continue.
Like, they're tired. Aren't you tired when you get home from work?
So now this is I'm thinking up some foolishness to say so that I can gaslight you. That's the face. You see how he was silent for like a good few seconds. He's thinking up some foolishness to say so that he could continue to gaslight this man. He asked a legitimate question. Aren't you tired? What I find interesting in this quote debate is that I watch a lot of Food Network with the young ones, right? Just the cooking shows, the food truck shows. Cooking is a job. Cooking is a job. Cleaning is a job. For some reason, when you do it inside the home, it's considered less of a job than when you do it outside the home. Okay. And so if you go outside and you're working, when you come inside, you're tired. But the assumption is when the man goes outside and works and comes inside, his tiredness is justified. But when the woman goes outside and comes inside and is tired, it's not justified, because in the mind of society, this is your job. So essentially, you went and did extra credit and you didn't do what you're supposed to do, which is your job inside the home. That's how I see them looking at it. But let's continue. Come on.
They're working every day, so they're tired. That's why I don't want to cook or clean.
Yeah. You think I want to work 8 hours and then come home and then cook and clean? I mean, I do it because I have to. I have 5 children. Yeah, I mean,
Do you have
like
a woman right now?
So the guy is giving his real time, non-purple in the background. I got time to be doing extracurricular stuff on the internet. He's like, yo, I do it. So he's like, I'm an active, present father. So now he wants to go and like, oh, you're a father. Do you have a woman? Because why are you doing this stuff, right?
What's that?
Do you have a woman right now?
I've been married for over 20 years.
Okay. Does your wife work?
Over 20 years. So now that this is getting personal, right? So you go from theory, right? This is the guy, glasses over here, baby Samuels, to practice. And now when the guy is vetting himself, like, listen, I know what I'm talking about based on my experience. Now he wants to keep digging so he can find something to disqualify him, right? So you got a woman? Yeah. You married? Yeah, 20 years. He's like, ooh, scratch eye. Ooh, what I'm gonna say about this one? Let me see. That's my body language version of when you're trying to find out something you about to make up, you scratch your eye, tell me, let me see what I'm gonna say now, right? Let's continue.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are the roles in a marriage?
What are you talking about?
What the
Roles?
box eye? How do we get here? How do we get here? Yo, you gotta know when you playing with when you talking to somebody who's into playing games right now. Why is this guy playing hopscotch? We started off of why women don't want to cook or clean for men anymore. And when you got your straightforward answer and it was you couldn't get in and around it, here you are playing hopscotch now. Over to what are the roles in a marriage? Wait a minute. Oh, come on. Don't start buffering, yo. Well, I'm laughing too much. Come on. Internet. You was doing it.
And everybody does what they have to do.
Well, okay.
What roles?
What do you do? What does she do?
Oh, come on. Dang. It was just doing its thing. So at this point, right now that you feel as though the person is open, the Inquisition. This is like the Inquisition. You have the person asking the questions, right? And again, this is a similar tactic to what Kevin said. How I call him Baby Samuels over here. It's a similar tactic. If you get the person open enough to begin to answer your questions, eventually you keep poking until you find a hole, right? And so now that he sees the man is vetted, 20 years, 5 children. Now he's going to try to see whether or not the problem that this man is having is because there aren't clearly defined roles in a marriage. And the reality is, because it's not a traditional space, he says his wife is working outside of the home, that people pitch in, people do what needs to be done. If you see a gap, if you see a hole, fill it. All of these people, it's like a good leader is willing to also roll their sleeves up. You feel me? But there's some people out here who actually go to the job and may see, something that needs done. Oh, that's not my job. That's not my job. I'm not going to do it. But in this case, this is their marriage. This is their relationship. So if there's something that needs to be done, you should be able to within reason, right? If a child, the mother is occupied and a child is in need, is the father just going to stand and be like, well, I'm not the mother, so I'm not going to help this child put a shoe on? I mean, this type of stuff is ridiculous, but this is kind of the stuff that people are espousing on the internet. These are the type of things that made these people, have all kind of problems in their relationships, and then they are putting themselves in positions of authority. Come on. Come on, that's a long buffer, man. Come on. You were just doing good. Hold on one second. This is a long buffer right here. Let me see what you guys said. There are brothers that know what's up and are trying to tell folks, but the loudest ones are the yeah, the ones that people, because they're the most offensive. Like the ones who are actually doing it are actually minding their business doing it. Hold on, peoples. I don't know if it's because let me try to let me play it from my phone. I
For a living?
see.
No, in the house for the marriage. What do you guys do? What are your roles?
Role? I don't understand the question. She does she does what needs to be done that day if she has time to do it, and if she doesn't, I do it. I do what needs to be done that day.
So he's like, Rose, what dinner?
If I don't have time to do it, she does it. But roles, I don't know what you're talking
How do you not know what roles are in a marriage? You're married for 20 years. You guys don't
because
have
those
any
don't
roles?
exist. Because those don't exist.
Now he gonna sit there acting like he confused. How do you not know what roles are, bruh? You do what he need to do, especially when this is not a traditional setting. You do what needs to be done to make sure the household runs effectively. But when people are hung up in uh these hypothetical theoretics, then oh, I'm not gonna, this is where the communication breaks down. The feeling of, because she's overwhelmed, he may be overwhelmed. Like in some spaces the man may be overwhelmed trying to provide for the household, so she goes out and tries to supplement so that he's not so overwhelmed. If he can throw a load of a laundry in there, and then she comes through and does what they need to do, and you have 5 children, those 5 children you're teaching how to do the parts that they can do. It doesn't, everything doesn't happen all at the same time, or it doesn't last forever. There are phases that each of your children go through till they get to the point where they can stand up on your feet. So again, baby glasses over here is coming from the mind standpoint. He doesn't know the practical. This is why the guy in the bottom, he needs to be blown up on the screen, and so that he can talk and these other ones can be quiet. That's just my thoughts, but let's go. Oh, come on. Come on. Let me know if it's it may be because I'm sharing my screen. All right, hold on a second.
Like, I'm not white.
So the guy goes to, what are your expectations? Like, where are you getting this from? I'm not saying that family doesn't need some roles or expectations so that things can run smoothly. I'm talking about where there's gaps and where there's overlap.
I'm not a white
What?
Christian man. I don't
What are you talking
roll.
about? I'm not white. What does that have to do with anything?
So now the guy is like, yo, I don't know what standard you're using to measure me by. I don't know what your expectations of me are. He doesn't understand when he's going to, I'm not quote unquote white. He's saying basically you're using a yardstick that I don't go by. So I think that's where he's answered your question succinctly. He addressed your concerns. You're going all over the place. You're putting something on him that doesn't apply. So automatically he goes to, well, maybe you're appealing to another thought process, right? So let's continue. Come on, come on. So the guy's all like, I'm not white. And now baby Samuels is confused, right? I'm gonna have to keep my eye on this black guru dude, because he looked like he about to try to baby Samuels us on this thing. The guy goes to, I'm not white, and he's like, you're not white. What does that have to do with it? Now he's playing coy. He's playing like he don't know what's going on. Oh gosh, hold on a second. Let me try to pull this joint up on my phone. Let me release this. Let me release this screen real quick. Hold up. I'm going to play it from my phone. For those who just joined us, welcome to the conversation. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This conversation is about why she doesn't cook. So you can definitely put your thoughts in the box below. The guy's answer was that she's tired. Um, I think I'll throw my hat in the ring that not only is she tired, that sometimes she doesn't know how to cook. Hold on.
Because they're tired, bro. They have to go to work.
All right, I'll play it from here.
That's not hard. They're tired. Yeah, they gotta go to work every day, just like you. What are they tired of? Of working. It's not hard. I mean, that shouldn't even be like. I don't even understand the question. Like, they're tired. Aren't you tired when you get home from work?
They're working every day, so they're tired. That's why I don't want to cook or clean.
Yeah. You think I want to work 8 hours and then come home and then cook and clean? I mean, I do it because I have to. I have 5 children. But yeah, I mean,
do you have a woman right now?
What's that?
Do you have a woman right now?
I've been married for over 20 years.
Okay. Does your wife work?
Yeah, absolutely.
What are the roles in a marriage?
What are you talking about, roles? And everybody does what they have to do.
Well, okay. What do you do? What does she do?
For a living?
No, in the house. Married.
Why did the guy say, he nearly made me choke on my sparkling water. Why did the guy say for a living? He said, what does she do? He said for a living. India say baby Samuel's not going to make it. He run up and got done up on his first viral. Yo, India say baby Samuels is not going to make it. Yo, I don't know.
What do you guys do? What are your roles?
Role? I don't understand the question. She does what needs to be done that day if she has time to do it, and if she doesn't, I do it. I do what needs to be done that day, and if I don't have time to do it, she does it. But roles, I don't know what you
How do you not know what roles are in a marriage? You're married for 20 years. You guys don't have any roles?
Because those don't exist.
And what they don't understand, I think a lot of these people on the internet too, doesn't allow for that relationship to have their own recipe that works for that relationship, for those people in those relationships. They want to try to make it as though it's hard and fast rules. You may have someone in the relationship who is more inclined towards cleaning, right? That may be that person's thing, male or female. In this case, let's say it's the male. So in the eyes of certain people, it may be like, oh my goodness, why is this man cleaning? He may be inclined towards that. So within their relationship, that works for them. But here he is, instead of saying, wow, bro, 20 years, instead of sitting down really and asking him how you do it, he's now looking to find a hole, an opening, looking to judge, looking to tear down somebody who did not come and tell you that their relationship was broken. Interesting. So misery sure does love company, but let's continue.
Like, I'm not white. I'm not a white Christian.
What?
Man. I don't.
What are you talking about? I'm not white. What does that have to do with anything?
Oh, because you're trying to live up to like some white supremacist ideal of
what are you talking about?
I don't subscribe.
Nobody said nothing about no supremacy.
Teamwork makes the dream work, Frank. We a team. Ain't no roles.
What do you mean there ain't no roles?
I would say that in a team, there are roles, right? So that's the part that in a team, there are roles. If you're talking about a basketball team, you have 5 players on the court, you have different roles. Now, do they overlap? Yes, you have the point guard, the 2 guard, the center, and the bottom 2 forwards. Everybody has a role. The same thing if you're on a track team, this is what you do. But if there's an overlap, what he's talking about is an overlap. There are general roles. Like if you want to play in a play, you know what I mean? It'd be like, ain't no roles. Yeah, there is. There's neighbor next door. There's the wife. There's the ex, whoever it is. There are roles, but they're overlapping in this space. And basically what the married man is saying is that working together helps our situation to run. But baby Sammy's over here is pretending like he don't understand what the guy is saying.
It's not that hard to understand. You said, why do women not want to cook and clean? You're tired. You have to go to work.
Okay.
I answered that question.
Okay.
You said, what are your roles? I said, we're a team.
Anytime you're talking or having a discussion with somebody and you answered their question, but they pretend like you didn't, and now they're trying to rush beyond, it's because they don't have nothing to say. The guy said, it's not that hard to understand. I answered your question. What did he do? He didn't acknowledge it to the sense like, you know what, you did answer your question. Let's continue to talk about that. He's moves the goalpost, which is a logical fallacy, right? To show you that he doesn't have a leg to stand on. But let's continue.
If there's something that needs to be built in the house,
how the box side? Wait a minute, no. How did he get to building stuff? What is wrong with baby Samuels? What how did we get to building stuff? I thought we was talking about why she don't want to cook and clean. This is where, and again, you're talking to someone who's living what you are over here dreaming about. So now he's over into building. You see how this goes? And now he hangs up on the man at the end of the conversation and nothing is really accomplished, right? But we're going to read some of these comments.
Or your wife. Depends on what it is.
What do you mean depends on what it is?
Like if it's a toy for the kids, you know what I'm saying? My wife's better at putting stickers on.
Why did he keep talking about, what do you mean? What do you mean? What does he mean? He said it depends. Maybe if it's something simple, she can put it together. If it's something more, I'm done. He acting like the average person, the average male is out here building stuff. Like, oh yeah, we need an addition to the house, and they know how to do that. They know how to pull plans and go to the city and get permits and pull drywall. The average person does not know how to do that, especially if they're spending all their time playing baby Samuels on the internet. Do you really know how to do that, brother? Oh no, I accidentally hearted his video.
Wait a minute. Talking about,
that's not building nothing, man.
I mean, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Stickers on something? You lost it.
Oh, now the fake outrage. Here comes the fake outrage. Oh, baby Samuel's got fake outrage. I wish I could see it, but the streaming thing is not acting nice right now. Baby Samuel's out here with fake outrage.
But my wife's an interior designer, so she can build anything.
And then he hangs up.
I ain't got time for no foolishness. He gone.
See? And then he takes a sip. He takes a sip out of his tumbler, right? I'm going to share the link in the box if you have something to say. So let's answer the question. The man answered the question. He said what he said. I agree with India. He should have said, bruh, I said what I said. I said what I said, fam. You know, instead you're going back and forth. You see that wait a minute. You see that the conversation is he's playing games. He's out here to play. What in the world? He's out here playing game. I've installed light fixtures and ceiling fans because I went to school for electromechanical engineering. It's not hard to understand. It's not hard if you want to understand. Right? If you want to understand, it's not hard. But if you're looking to nitpick, instead of saying, yo, you've been married 20 years, congratulations. Because isn't that what y'all are out here talking about? Isn't here what you're arguing about? They're not wife material. They don't want to cook. They don't want to clean. Right? So therefore, if you find somebody who has that, you should be asking, well, how did you do that? You know, what were the things that you looked for? How did you know that, you know, instead of asking someone who knows because they've experienced it, now you're looking to argue with the person as if you actually have a point. So let me know your thoughts in the comments while I try. I don't know what's going on here. Why is my computer acting like this, dear? Y'all know I had to get a different little computer to do what it does. Yeah, what is baby Samuel's goal? I think, you know, I went a little bit through his I went a little bit through his TikTok. It looked like he not too long started on this. I don't know if it's a new account, but he was trying different videos, and I think this is the first one that garnered him this much attention. And so I think that's why I think he's going to continue in this vein. I think he's really going to continue in this vein because, you know, it's all about what's garnering attention. He did a few DoorDash videos. He did 1 and 2 modern women videos. And so definitely, he says live stream daily, 10 a.m. Pacific, exploring real topic, blunt and raw. So yeah, it looks like he's going to start going in this here direction because it's profitable. Talk about modern women, talk about her not cooking and cleaning, and you have people's attention. Now, the question I'm asking is, why don't women
tired, brother.
Why women don't want to cook or clean for men anymore? What are your thoughts? Is that a true statement? Because sometimes once you answer the statement, you're assuming that it's true, right? So assuming that is true, what is wrong with the mouse on this thing? Electronic problems. Yeah, Mr. Let It Go. Like I said, I went over there one time. I'm like, bruh, they don't like when people speak. First of all, they present a false premise, and they don't like when people speak honestly, right? Then it's trying to gaslight you to make you look like you're crazy because you're not in agreement with it. And I'm like, bro, what are y'all over here doing? What's your goal? You know what I mean? Like you're saying, what's your goal? What are you trying to accomplish? So let's see what some people in the comment section is saying. India, India, he does. Yo, he's over there. He got the goalpost like it's a javelin. You ever seen the javelin in the Olympic? He's like picking that joint up and shot putting that joint all the way to the other side of it. Like, what are you talking about? That's what we just experienced. Instead of saying back to the cooking and the answer, he never gave an answer. This guy here, he has all baby Samuels. He got all the questions. He ain't got no answers. Right. She's tired. Okay, then explore that. What is she tired from? Does she work outside the home? Yes. So how does that work within your home? That's somebody who's genuinely trying to understand something. You know what I mean? How does it work within your home? The man says teamwork makes the dream work. Everybody pitches in. And that's what works in their home. If you say she's solely responsible, here's another thing. When you look at what was going on inside the home, a lot of times the women were not getting let's see, during the eras where, let's say, the 60s, late 50s, 60s, when they started doing this whole domestic campaign where they wanted the women to leave it to beaver, you know what I mean, go back in the home. They had to find ways to feel fulfilled. For us to pretend that they felt fulfilled solely being in the home, if that was true, the moment they allowed them to come out the home, they wouldn't have ran out like the house was on fire. Because you're in a job that oftentimes is thankless, that people just assume that you should be doing it. You're in a job that you're not necessarily getting paid in the currency that you want. It's to a certain degree, if the man is earning the paycheck, I've spoken about this before, then he has value to the general outside market. He has value to the outside world. He's getting currency in the marketplace. If you are solely working inside the home, cooking and cleaning and taking care of your family, you do not have marketplace value. Does that make sense? So a lot of women felt as though they were not valued outside, and sometimes they weren't even valued in the home. So they left their post, they left those spaces so that they can go outside, and that even if the boss doesn't value them in the same way, the currency that they're being paid in is something that translates in the outside world. I don't know why people are pretending like that's not hard to understand. It's kind of like you're an indentured servant to a certain degree. You have food, clothing, and shelter, but you really don't have any autonomy. So if you look at some of these shows, go back and look at some of these shows that were happening, and then she had to live vicariously through the other people in her family, namely the husband, sometimes the children. She had to live through them because her experiences were limited towards the home. And for some women, that was not enough. So in some spaces, she doesn't want to cook and clean because that oftentimes was a thankless position. It was a thankless job. Now, people will say, well, your family is supposed to be your pride and joy. That's if that's what she was about. Some people got married and they didn't want to do it. They didn't even want to get married. So how you are saying that somebody's supposed to be excited about something that they themselves probably didn't even want? And this is to a certain degree why you're seeing many people dropping out of this marriage game or being married and divorces, because deep down, maybe they didn't even want to be responsible for all of them people. That's just my thoughts. There's so many, it's complex. It's not singular, because women, just like Black people are not a monolith, women are not a monolith. There are different types of women, different type of different position. You have people who are more, women who are more, have more maternal instincts. You have selfish women. You have all different, just like you have all different type of men, you have all different type of women. My mouse is not acting right. So I'm trying to put the link. I wanted to do it, but males these days don't deserve it. Okay, so Judah is saying that you want to cook. Now, what are your thoughts? If you cook for the man, some of these men don't even, how are you cooking and cleaning for somebody who just wants to defy you? There's another video I wanted to share here. But about the man who flies the woman out and he claims he pays $5,000 between uh, plane ticket, what do you call the thing? Airbnb and food. And then he's mad because she doesn't want to give him the quote unquote cheeks, right? So the question is, who are you cooking and cleaning for? In this case, is it the husband? The man says for men anymore. Should she just be cooking and cleaning for random men, or should it be for her husband? And is there a limit? Should the husband solely treat her like a maid? In recent Family of Chantel, I don't know if you guys watched that one, but I'm gonna pause right here because I think it's important for this conversation. You have in that show, it's a spinoff of 90 Day Fiance, right? So you have Pedro and Chantel, and the guy came from the DR. They've been together like 6, 7 years. One of his key complaints, when now he has established himself in America, is that his wife of 6 years is lazy and she doesn't want to cook, or she doesn't know how to cook the food that he likes, and she doesn't clean. And for this reason, he wants to divorce her, right? So this is one of the things where it's not just a random man, it's your husband. But like I said, she may not know how to cook. Now, not knowing how to cook is not a reason not to cook, because then you can just learn. But there's some women who have equated cooking and cleaning as servitude, and because they feel as though they don't want to serve the man because it's not beneficial, she's not getting any currency back that is going to make her feel like what she's doing is worth it. We have to understand that what we do is an investment, and oftentimes we invest because we want something back. No, when you invest, don't you want something back? So if she's investing in this way and she feels as though she's not getting something back, many people don't want to do it. Judah says, exactly, how can we want to do it for the undeserving? I wanted to do it for my husband, as I raised to want to do, but many males do not deserve to be husbands. So the better question is, why does he think just a random man deserves to be cooked and cleaned for? And if she does all of these things, what is to be expected? What is she supposed to get in return? Like the guy who spent the $5,000, he gave all of what he feels is valued in the marketplace, which is his money, and in return, realistic or not, he expected the woman to give him access to her body. No? So we're talking about expectations and managing expectations, realistic expectations, and historically, why this position has no longer been, is no longer appealing for a lot of women. The crickets will have, yeah, the crickets, because when we have rational conversations, I see we tend not to like those type of conversations. We tend to like, gaslighting conversations and craziness. But when we're talking about the real, like, you're expecting this. So if she, some people also say if she's at home, then the expectation is that she should do all of these things because she's not working. I see a lot of women saying, they don't want to work and they just want to be home. But in the same vein, you want to be home and you don't want to do these things. Now, I think at that point, we begin to run into a problem. You know what I mean? But that's my thoughts. I don't know. My mouse is acting wild and crazy, and it's not allowing me to click anything. So I'm going to just leave it right there. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Is that brother tripping? Is he bugging out? Is baby Samuel's on his way to the top? Let me just play a little bit of this video of the guy who has this expectation of the woman.
Hold on. God. This woman for 2 months and then flew her out hoping you was going to get some. I don't care how much y'all do all that hollering about the women these days. Y'all still trying to sleep with the same women. No, don't fly her out. Look, don't fly her out. Bruh, she ain't have to have no cheeks. I've been FaceTiming her. This is my cheeks. This is my ass. That's my coochie. What are you talking about? For 2 months. I don't have to get just get me there. I don't care. Dude's gone. This woman for 2 months and then
so he FaceTimes the woman for 2 months. Every day. Yo, he FaceTimes her for 2 months every day and she got flued out. I'm confused about the expectations on both sides, to be honest. So he FaceTimes her, then slides in the DM, FaceTimes her every day for 2 months. I guess they're in a FaceTime relationship. She shows up, maybe in her mind, she's showing up to see who he is and whether she likes him. And he's showing up to you already seen who I am, and now it's time for you to repay me, right? So he's investing and he's looking for a return on investment. Let's play again.
Get some. I don't care how much y'all do all that hollering about the women these days. Y'all still trying to sleep with the same women.
No, don't fly her out. Look, don't fly her out. Bro, you. She's have no cheeks. I've been FaceTiming her.
This is my cheeks. This is my ass and my coochie. What are you talking about?
For 2 months.
I don't have to just get me there. I don't care. Dude's gone.
Okay, so I think that's because the other video blocks her out. So since I'm here and since the mouse is allowing me to navigate now, let me go to the other video where he's really upset and he's there's some bleeps in there, so please excuse, but let's listen to why the world is in the condition that it is. Okay.
Mama, Shorty got me all the way up. So let me explain to y'all. Let me explain to y'all the story. I flew this way from Indiana. You know what I'm saying? Been talking to her on Instagram for months. You feel me? I done spent damn near 5 G's on this. She talking about she don't want nobody touch her. Man, you got me up.
Okay, so
You mean when you leave? First of all, hold on.
So first of all, what we don't know what conversations was happening. Somebody has an expectation, right, that in his mind is not met. And somebody could possibly have led someone on. So you're FaceTiming and having a conversation with this person for 2 months. Did you let them know that it is a no-fly zone before you got there, right? To play naive and coy as though you don't see that this person has an expectation of you is not realistic, right? So he at this point is pissed. She does have a right to say, brethren, I'm not into all of that. But I think the whole setup is suspect from the beginning. But
first she told me she don't even fly Spirit, right? Told me she don't fly Spirit. Okay, so I get her mom. So I get her mom.
So she told she doesn't fly Spirit. What when you say, do you want to come see me? What was the conversation? Was it for what? What are your plans? What do you expect? Because just based on the way he's talking and behaving, I don't know how he was able to hide this type of personality for that long, right? Did she have an inkling or a clue that something right? You flew her all in from Indiana, right? What's going on? Nasha said this is very dangerous. It is dangerous. And this is how people get hurt. In this case, he put her on blast, but this is dangerous.
Damn near 600-700 last minute, right? Okay. So plus her bags, check-in, all that shit.
Why was it pressing? Why did you fly her out last minute? If you've been talking to her on Instagram for months, then wouldn't it make sense that you plan something that doesn't need to be last minute? Right? So all of these little factors are interesting.
Get her the Uber, all that shit. Then I'm getting there at 2 G's already. So we get here. First night, I'm being a whole gentleman. Have I not been a gentleman to you though?
So the first night he has, and you should see the pinky ring, pointing finger. He has all expectations. According to him, he's been a gentleman, right? So again, he's giving his resources and he expects her resources in return. So even to the cooking conversation, she gives her resources in the sense of preparing and serving. And she may have an expectation that's not being met. And this is probably why she ain't going to want to do it again. But let's continue.
But you should have known what it was if I flew you out here, though.
I don't want.
Why come out here then?
What do you mean?
This is the Instagram model. You know what? I ain't gonna be no petty ass. Put your name on there, man. Okay, so why would you come halfway across the country? No, I didn't want to.
You though.
I ain't say you did. You know what it was, though. You know what it was.
You want to spend money?
I spent 5 G's on you.
Well, first of all, bad investment, Mr. Pinky Finger Man. Why are you spending $5,000 on an Instagram model that you don't know? You could have invested that money in the stock market. You could, you could have gave a scholarship to some child who's trying to, why are you spending $5,000 on some random woman you found on Instagram and flew in them out? What's going on? India says she owes him, but neither sounds honest. He probably wasn't clear about wanting the cheeks, and she wasn't clear about the cheeks not being up for debate. But I maintain she don't owe him. She does not owe him, but again, she did put herself in a compromising situation, because if everything energy is exchanged, right, his energy has been exchanged, his time and her time has been exchanged, so it led someone to believe, like, you went to the car dealership, you looked at the car, you test drove the car, you came into the box, you know how they bring you into the box, you sat down, you start talking figures. The expectation is not saying that you owe the person, but the expectation is, okay, we're going to make a deal. Now, whether or not they were clear about what that deal was, like you say, I agree. We don't know. We wasn't there.
You want to spend money.
I spent 5 G's on you. What are you talking about?
That's what you
5 G's. What are you talking about? So look,
Okay, I would also say some of these women, some of the younger women, when the man is willing to spend money, it's stupid money. Like, you willing to spend money, they're willing to eat you up for the money. So her thought, she's already telling us what she thinks. You were willing to spend money. So in her mind, if you dumb enough to spend $5,000, then she's gonna take it. Again, I agree with Nasha on this one. That's dangerous. But let's continue.
let me talk. Shut up. Here we about to go eat, right?
Because he sounds very aggressive. Now he's on to, so he plays for the flight, he plays for her Uber, he plays for the place, and again, why, lady, why are you going to all of these places when you know what kind of climate we in? But let's continue. So now she says she's hungry.
So Shorty tomorrow she hungry. So Shorty, call him. Pack all this shit. I'll help you. Read. Pack all this bunk up. Pack all this shit. Pack all that shit up. It's not even about the. It's not even about. It's really about the money, because it ain't about nothing. You feel me? It ain't about nothing. So listen, we get off the fight. Let me tell the story. We get off the.
I apologize. I'm glad they beeped it all out, because this is a lot of aggression here.
Fight. So I'm like, we went back to the room. She like, I'm hungry. I'm like, all right, well, let's go to a little restaurant or something. I'm trying to get her something to eat. She like, oh, nah, I only eat the best. I want some crab legs. That's another. So we go to the restaurant. I spend damn near ordering steak, crab legs. I'm buying all that shit, though.
He over there eating all kind of unclean food. He real mad. Like, he really thought the more bread he trick off on this girl, that he's going to get something in return. And when he realized he wasn't going to get it, he went to the internet. But bro, why did you do it in the first place? So when you get burned in this way, why didn't you invest your time, that time, in somebody if you were actually trying to build with them? But no.
You're a gentleman. You know what I'm saying? Being a real. So I spent damn near 5 G's on this already. Hold on, you can leave.
Yes,
You can go. Yes, I'll help you. Pack this shit up. You can get the all out. Get all your shit. Pack all it. It's already packed. Yes. Tell them how much money I spent, though. Tell them how much money I spent. I can get some. It ain't enough for me to call. I got another coming through. So you can leave.
Okay, pause. So she's saying he's mad, and he's saying that he has someone else. So this is something that you do. What did you want? Bragging rights? Like, this is a bad use of resources here. This is really a bad use of resources. But my point being, that's crazy. Enough of all of that beeping craziness. It just goes to show you that on both sides, it's not just on one side. On both sides, the whole stuff is off, man. The whole stuff. The men are off. The women are off. The younger, especially, I mean, the older ones too, but the younger ones, the expectations are unrealistic. Oftentimes, like he said, I was being a gentleman. Oftentimes, people are pretending until they get in situations and positions, and then they don't have what it takes to maintain a relationship. And this is to my thought, back to Baby Samuels. When the guy said 20 years, Baby Samuels didn't know what to do with it. So he had to change the topic, because relationships from certain generations are not lasting anymore. So because he couldn't contend with that, then he went to nitpick. For those who just joined us, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up right now. I had put the link in the box, but I don't see anybody coming through. But that's kind of what I wanted to share. And I guess I did 2 videos in one. So haha. But thank everybody for tuning in. Let me play my little commercial too. Hold on, peoples. I don't know what's wrong with this thing. Anybody have anything else to say? Nasha said, yes, he's dangerous. His voice is full of aggression. Most men want models as wives. And then get mad when the model don't want to cook. I'm confused. Like you get a person who only wants to do their nails and their hair, and then get mad when the person who is materialistic that you are attracted to doesn't want to do things that are going to compromise them. I'm confused. I am befuddled. I am confused. Please explain to me what you people want. You cannot want all. You cannot. You have to choose. You have to choose. The guy said, "Yo, did he say what does she build?" Like he been listening to Kevin Samuels. They are really jonesing right now. They're like, "Oh, they miss him so much. They got to come up with some of the same foolishness." What does he build, bruh? How are you building? Sitting in a computer chair all day. What are you building? What are you building? What are you building? What are you building? You know. So, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and wind down. Thank everybody for tuning in. If you see any interesting stories out there, feel free to always drop it in the box. If I have some time, we'll come by and then we'll have that discussion. Father, help me with this computer. What is wrong with my mouse? I'm trying to click off, y'all, but the mouse is stuck. Oh, the mouse is stuck. Hold on, let me log into my phone. Pause. Let me log on through my phone. Pause. Amuna's always having. Oh, I see Amina is in the spot. Hold on. You're going to have to hold on for me 1 second while I log on through my phone because this mouse is acting crazy. Hold on 1 second. You can share your thoughts. StreamYard. Ah, doop 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 doop. Hold on, hold on. Hold on 1 second. Yo, all my technology is tripping today. Do 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 do. All right, hold on 1 second. Acquaintance. Okay. Oh, my bad. Go ahead. We can't hear you. Okay. All right. Wait, this thing is still. Can you hear me? There was just sound. 1, 2. Let me know if I could be heard. All right. I see Amina is in the spot. Let me know if I can be heard. 1, 2.
Yep, I can hear you.
All right. You can go ahead and share. My apologies. A little, uh, we got a little craziness going on the mic, but go ahead. The mic is yours.
No worries. I'm gonna be real quick because I gotta jump off. But I just wanted to say, number one, imagine being that dude's woman with the way that he spake about the gender roles and all of that kind of stuff. Imagine having to be in that situation where you're not seen as a woman, as a human, as a person, as someone that actually does get tired or just may not feel like doing something that day. Man, just imagine that would be hell. Number two, um, the reason he cut that man off like that and hung up on him is because that man completely and totally is the living example of why he's wrong,
Right.
of why he should not be listened to, of why nothing he says should hold weight with anyone. He literally came face to face with his reckoning and didn't know how to handle that, so he had to
I
delete.
agree. I
And
agree.
that last one, Lord, both of them. Who raised them? I mean, okay, so number one, my dad, my brother, the men in my life, they raised me to never accept anything from the quote unquote nice guy, the
Mm,
quote unquote gentleman, because they told me that he will help me and help me and help me, and then expect me to help him in ways that are demeaning to me or that are beneath me unless he has earned that right by being my husband. So that's what the men in my life taught me. The women in my life taught me that you don't just do those things for someone who is undeserving. And I've looked around. Most of these males are undeserving. They don't even know how to be masculine. They don't even know how to they cannot hold a conversation. They may know how when it's beneficial, but they cannot hold a conversation just on any other regular basis, which means their personalities suck. If your personalities suck, why should somebody want to invest all that? It takes a lot of time, energy, and strength to keep house like that, like what he's expecting. That energy and all of that doesn't come from nowhere. It has to be refilled. It has to be replenished. And if he's sitting there expecting for her to be some kind of Stepford robotic wife with no emotions, no kind of feelings, no kind of nothing, and he does not have to replenish her,
right.
then I mean, what is the point? Why even give him the benefits? Why even make him a husband? He's undeserving.
Yeah, the
So
reciprocity. That exactly the thought that it's coming from nowhere, and she's just going to continue to be incentivized to do it under
right,
conditions is not really realistic historically or even in present day. It's it's
right, right.
it's not realistic. So, what do you think? You think the guy who gave out the 5,000, who was? I know both of them in the situation was out of pocket, but who, in your estimation, was wrong? Like dead wrong? Like should she not have accepted it, or was he?
Oh, she was dead wrong.
She was dead
And
wrong.
the reason she was dead wrong is because even if he didn't say it, she knew good and well with her being on Instagram showing all of her goodies like that. Because we know he wasn't on there clicking hearts on no head wrapped covered from head to toe chick. We know he wasn't. So with her knowing what she put out there as bait,
Right.
seeing what he was delivering to her, she knew she was out there like a prostitute. She was on the host roll, and he was out there trying to get his wares, and
Mhm.
she should have been wise enough to be like, oh, yo, no, 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 not that's not what's going on. That's not
Right.
what's going on. She should have told him up front, or she should have just been like, I'll pay my way. I'll pay
And
my
you know
entire way, and I'll come
what?
see you, and we'll see where that goes.
An Instagram model, she must have been scantily, clad and exposing herself to a certain degree. So this is probably why he was like, you knew what it was. You know what I mean?
Right.
You were at,
Legitimately. I mean, I had a friend that I cut off, and the reason I cut her off is because I saw a repetitive action in her, and that repetitive action was she would completely dress like I lived in Southern California in Los Angeles. Figueroa was the stroll. So we knew for a fact that if you dressed a certain way, you would be mistaken for one of those women.
Mm-hmm.
And yet she would repeatedly dress that way, behave in that manner, and then get offended when a guy comes up to her with $40. And I'm like, it's not the fact that you're pretending to be offended. It's the fact that you keep doing it. You like the attention. You want the attention. You want that, but then you want to try to feign what is it called, piousness. You want to feign
Right.
like oh you're such a good, decent Christian woman. You would never, and you're sitting out here with your boobs on the table. I mean, it shows a level of insanity to me. And that
And I
chick,
actually,
she knew what was going on, because you can't tell me in that conversation, in those DMs, he did not mention her physical appearance, not once. You can't tell me that.
so to that, I would agree with you that there's a lot of women. Even I saw a video with the woman going to the gym, and she is dressed in a way and doing things in a way that calls attention, and then proceeds to video the man who's looking at her and saying, "You're a pervert for looking."
All of a sudden, she's mad.
Right. All of a sudden, you're a fan. And like you said, I look at that kind of wild. Not to say that you can't dress how you quote want to dress, but understand that it comes with, like, they have eyes. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
they look at it in a certain way. Isn't that what you were going for? Like, if
Right.
you did that, looked at you, then you would feel a kind of way, no?
Let me tell you. Okay, so I'm the wallflower. Okay, I'm extremely like shy. I mean, as you can see right now, even with the camera, I don't have it like fully off my face. But I'm the wallflower. I don't like to be looked at too long, too hard, too anything. Right. So when I'm out, I'm dressed in a manner to where I am so inconspicuous. You're not gonna catch me out there in hoochie mama shorts. You're not gonna catch me out there in a quote unquote booby top. You're not gonna catch me out there dressed a certain way, because I know for a fact that men in general are going to look. And some
Right.
of them have the creepiest, they done touched you all over just by looking at you type looks. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you're literally putting that out there on Instagram, which is not just your neighborhood. It's not just your city. That's the entire country. The entire world is looking at that. And then you're going to be shocked that he's sitting there thinking you're going to do something strange for a little bit of change.
Strange for
Girl,
some.
that's what I thought that was in the Instagram, their little terms and conditions. Like, if this is what you're posting, this is what you should expect.
Right.
I thought it was, but maybe not. I don't know. But I have to go. I got to get ready to my appointment. Have a great day, Shalava.
All right. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. For those who just joined us, I was having a little technical difficulties here. And so, yeah, that was that. I thank you for tuning in. That was an interesting discussion. Definitely a lot to consider. And along with my technical difficulties, what is going on with all electronics today? I'm trying to end the broadcast. So give me 1 second. Let me put this thing back on real quick. My apologies. We're going to get it together one day. One day, we're going to get it together. Let me run a commercial before I go. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This episode is sponsored by Yummy Curry Powder. Go on over to www.theyummycottage.com for your powder today.